ready to go. It's Bet Big Brad. It's B1G Wilson, and it's your boy Kent from Casual Big 10. It's also Week 12, guys. Today it starts. There's a Friday night game. We might even talk about that game on this very show, but what we're here to do for real is pick all the games against the spread, all the over-unders. We're going to do that this week. Brad, how you feeling about it?
About the picking this stuff?
Yeah. How about that?
Not great.
More excited about the basketball games tonight or the lowly football game that's all by itself? Standalone, I would call it.
The basketball games?
Yeah?
Yeah.
You big basketball fan, huh?
Yeah. I've been called.
Okay.
I've been called that before.
Wilson, Brad just said he's more excited about basketball than UCLA at Washington. I had to double check what the game was tonight, even though we just picked the games. What say you?
I'm with Brad, and I think you are too, even though you won't admit it, considering you had to just look up who was playing tonight.
Facts.
Basketball season. I'm all in on basketball season now.
I'm definitely a bigger basketball fan than football fan, no doubt about that. There's no denying that from my end. And I think that's proof every March when we go to the Big Ten tournament, which is the postseason for basketball, and brings me to my next topic. Last year when we did Bet Big, we went all the way through the season, and we also picked the bowl games, but we haven't discussed that this year.
No.
Wilson, we'll start with you. You were a huge proponent of picking the bowl games last year. There's going to be some more games probably involved with the playoffs. We didn't do a playoff episode. We just did a bowl finale. I was thinking we would do that again this year. Are you on board?
I would be on board just doing picks, no show.
Just like the finale, though, like we did last year. Just one big bowl finale. And then we pick the playoff games. We just pick them.
Okay.
Because that's kind of what we did last year.
I'm on board.
I love it. Brad, you did not want to do that last year. I'm assuming that you're really excited about doing that this year.
No.
Por qué?
All good things come to an end.
Yeah, it comes to an end at the end of the season after the bowl games.
But the best ones know when to call it quits, though.
That's true. All good things do get started as well, and on your screen, if you're watching on Twitter or YouTube, you're going to see a little promo for brand new this week. We are on Discord. I am definitely on it. I've been trying to get some chats rolling. Brad and Wilson are also inside the Discord. I think they're waiting for some exciting chats to happen, and maybe they will get involved. If you are watching, like I said, on Twitter, the link to sign up for the Discord is pinned at the top of my Twitter profile. And if you're watching on YouTube, you can get to Twitter or you can contact me whatever way you want to, and you can get involved in that Discord as well. I think you can also search for it on Discord. I'm not sure. Love to have everybody that's listening, watching in the Discord. And with that, we'll get started. Brad, there are a lot of season win total updates that we need to get through. I was thinking, if you're okay with it, I'll run through them real quick. You could pick your favorite that you would like to talk about, and then you could talk about that, and Wilson could do the same.
You can just run through them, and I don't have to say anything.
We could do that as well. I'll start with this one because it finished last week, and then, Wilson, I'll throw it over to you. Purdue confirmed their under 4.5 wins last week. We all had the under on that. How are you feeling about that?
That was easy. That was easy. Expected.
Yeah.
Good job, everyone here. We're not dumb.
We're ball knowers over here.
Definitely not dumb. All right, these are the ones that are close to being finished, Brad. It's going to be Oregon. They'll go over 10.5 with a win. You're the only one that has the under on Oregon, so you need them to lose. UCLA.
That doesn't sound right.
UCLA pushes with they push their 5-win total. If they pick up a win this weekend, they are we'll talk about that game in just a minute. I'll just run through this like I said. Nebraska will go under. This one kind of surprises me. If they lose this weekend and they are underdogs, they'll be under 7.5. We all took the over on Nebraska, so we'll all be wrong on that one. Rutgers pushes 6 with a win, I believe, at Maryland. Again, Brad, you went under on that. Me and Wilson have the over. Michigan State will push 5 with a win this weekend. We all took the over. Northwestern will go over 4.5 if they can pull off the upset against Ohio State. We all took the over. I think they have 2 more games after that still. And then Maryland rounding things out. They have to win their last 3 games to go over. Brad, you selected over, so you need 3 wins in a row.
I did. You're making stuff up now.
I don't think that I
doesn't
am.
sound like me at all.
Here's the good news for you, though. You are, I got to double check. I think it's 5-1 now. You're 5-1 on the season win total so far. I am 2-4. Wilson is 3-2. I don't know why I only updated his record. No, you're 4-2. I'm sorry, 4-2, Wilson, on the season win totals. Forgot to update those. But we have 6 teams confirmed. Brad, did any of those stick out to you, though? I think it was Nebraska for me.
It sounds like I'm in trouble. Yeah, the Nebraska one, and then the Rutgers one is going to be close too. I don't know. I know they play Michigan State still. They got Maryland this week, and do they have one more game, or do they have a bye left still?
I'd have to double check on those. I didn't write down all the remaining games. Some teams have played 10 already, and some have only played 9.
Yeah. So that one could go either way still, because they can't figure themselves out. And then the Michigan State one, this is a big game this weekend too.
I have $100 on that one, so I'd need them to get some wins. I'm getting nervous now. They got to 4 like real quick, and then they just decided to stop winning, I guess is what.
Your Ducats are in trouble.
They're in big trouble. All right, let's talk about last week real quick. I know you guys don't want to dwell on this, so I'll go through it quick. Brad, we'll get yours out of the way. You went 0-3 on locks. You had Iowa and UCLA over. You had Purdue, Ohio State over, and the Indiana-Michigan over. All 3 of those lost. That took you to 2-13 on the week. Your thoughts?
I want to talk about it.
All right. We'll go right to Wilson then. Like I said, we won't waste time on this. Wilson, also 0-3 on locks. You were with Brad on the Iowa UCLA over. You took Indiana minus 14.5 against Michigan, and then you also took the over in the Indiana-Michigan game. All 3 of those lost. Your total record 4-11 last week.
Yeah, that one Indiana-Michigan game, I got it. You know, I knew Indiana was going to win, just didn't get the margin and overall game flow correct, but can't be perfect. Still got a over 500 record overall. Only one that can say that.
I'm getting close though. Does that count for anything?
It counts to where we can gang up and make fun of Brad.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. All right, and then me, of course, 3rd week in a row, I think that I've won now. Some money off of you guys. 7-8, not super impressive, but good enough to beat you. I had one lock that lost. Friday night, I had Iowa minus 6.5 against UCLA, and UCLA, of course, won the game. But then I went under on Purdue, Ohio State. I actually want to point this one out because I said that Purdue is not going to score, and they didn't. So I said Ohio State's going to have to score all, I think it was 54 or something like that, 53.5. And I was right about that. So I'm patting myself on the back for that one. And then I took Michigan plus 14.5. I knew that was going to be a close game, and I was right. Total overall records. We'll bring those up on the screen now. Brad, you're at 109, 122, and 6. I'm at 116, 117, and 4. So I'm just 1 game behind 500. And that's 9 games behind Wilson. Wilson putting the pressure on you right now. 125, 107, and 5 after a hot start, but a couple bad weeks. Do I have a shot, Wilson, to catch up?
Probably. Definitely have lost the feel to this season several weeks ago, and it has not come back. So.
Okay. Brad, how you feeling overall?
I'm fine. I got my shrimp cocktail on the way, baby. That's all I care about.
What's this?
This year, for last year.
I forgot what the shrimp cocktail's for. for last year?
Yeah,
Okay.
my consolation prize, I guess, for
Just be thankful you're getting
blowing
anything.
you guys out.
We didn't agree on anything last year. Yeah, you should be happy you're getting anything, as Wilson just said.
I am. I just said I got my shrimp cocktail. I'm all set.
All right. All right. All right. All right.
Anything
all
can
right.
happen though.
All right. I feel like I've talked a lot, so I'm going to send it over to Wilson first for his locks as he pulls them up on. Oh, I'm sorry. One last thing on this one. Eddie from Big Ten Quick Talk.
Eddie.
He was the only one that filled out the form last week. He's also so far the only one that's filled it out this week. Didn't even add up his totals. Eddie, I assume that you did good, but you won because it was by default. No one else played. So good job to Eddie. He's also in the Discord, by the way. Eddie from Big Ten Quick Talk. Come join him in the Discord. Wilson, week 12, what do you got for us?
Yeah, so I don't feel great about any of these, so keep that in mind. But I'll start off with the Rutgers plus 5.5 at Maryland, locking that. The only reason I'm locking that is because Maryland is not very good, and Michigan State beat them, and that was the only deciding factor. So I went with Maryland or Rutgers in the points on that one. Could see it going either way. Both teams are bad, but trust Rutgers a little more.
Yeah, when you say it like that, it reminds me of the Northwestern game. I believe that was also at Maryland where they won by 27. And now I'm nervous because I'll spoil one of mine, but I have the opposite. I went with Maryland minus 5.5, and I literally have no support for that whatsoever. I just picked that. I thought the lines were kind of difficult. There was two that I really liked, my other two locks, and then I thought the rest of them were kind of hard, so I just went with the one that was, kind of low, and I took the home team. I probably could have did that with Illinois, too, because it was only a 3-point spread, but I just decided to go with Maryland minus 5.5. Brad, did you like that pick for Wilson, or do you like my lock?
I don't know.
Man, you are locked in today, brother.
That game was rough. I picked Maryland because they were at home, and
Yeah.
those teams have been like they could blow somebody out one week and then lose to the worst team the next week. Both of them have done it, so I just picked the home team.
That's kind of how I was feeling about that. All right, Wilson, what's your second lock?
Second lock, I felt this was the easiest one. I went with the over in the Ohio State Northwestern 44.5. Similar to what you were saying about Purdue and Ohio State last week, I think Ohio State could cover that themselves. So I felt that was pretty easy. I'll let you talk about that because you said that you have another lock similar to that.
Yeah, I have that exact same one. So I kind of have to talk about all these, I guess, at the same time. But I also thought this was the easiest one. It's the first one that I locked up. Same reason I said last week. I think Ohio State could score 45 by themselves. But also, I think that Northwestern's better than Purdue. I don't even think that's a debate at this point. But they could score 10, let's say. Let's say they score 10 or 14. They get a couple touchdowns, maybe, or a late one. That's going to help get that over very easily, I think. So I thought this was the easiest pick of the weekend, Brad.
No,
Well, you have it. You also have the over in this game.
I have it. I didn't lock it though because I can't try. I can't. No one's scoring points anymore apparently. So
that's right when everyone scores points.
I did call Ohio State having 45 last week. I just thought Purdue would have 10. So they let me down. There's no reason to believe that Northwestern's going to score any points either. So you better hope Ohio State gets that 45 again.
I think that they can, but also I think Northwestern.
There's no reason to believe it, though.
I think the reason to believe it is that early in games, Ohio State has shown some holes. Maybe they're buttoning that up now, but I'm just remembering back to the beginning of the season where some teams were able to jump on them kind of early. So maybe Northwestern, that first scripted drive, they put some things together and they can go down and get an early touchdown, or the exact opposite. When all the starters are out for Ohio State and they just want to get on the board, they punch one in at the end. At least 7. Come on, Northwestern, you got to give me 7. Got to give me 7. I think they can do that. All right, Wilson, your last lock.
Last one, I went with the under in the UCLA Washington game. I think this was actually the last one I actually decided on. But the reason I went with the under is I feel like both UCLA and Washington both won't score more than like 24 points. So I'm just banking on one of them to be in the teens, while the max will have like a 24-point total, just based off the results in the past.
Yeah, I took so I'll go against you on this one, but it's not a lock for me. I took the over because of Ethan Garbers, and that's it. I think that the UCLA offense has really started to find some things out about themselves. And, yeah, Washington's defense is pretty good, but I'm basing that off of some pretty bad teams now that I'm learning that they played. Like, they looked good in the Michigan game. I was like, oh, okay, this defense is good, but Michigan's offense sucks. So I took the over in this one. I'm hoping that it's going to be a high-scoring game because, like I said, it's the only one on tonight, and I want some excitement. Brad, what do you think about that game tonight?
I don't remember what I picked.
Okay. I could look it up, but I'm not going to. We'll just move on to my
sorry.
locks. I think we'll do my locks next. Is that cool with everybody? I think it will be.
Yeah, that works for me.
Especially since I already talked about two of them. Obviously, the Ohio State Northwestern over. I already said I think that's the easiest one of the weekend. Went with Maryland -5.5 against Rutgers. And then my last one is going to be Oregon -13.5 at Wisconsin. The Ducks have been good to me this year when I pick them against the spread. I think that they are the best team that is playing this weekend in the Big Ten. So I took the best team, and I took them against the points. And I think that they could go up there and shock Wisconsin early, often, and throughout that game. I like the Ducks. 3 touchdowns, I wouldn't even be surprised. I think it's going to be closer to 4 because I think they're that good. I think they're very good, and they've gotten better throughout the year. So, Wilson, your thoughts on that pick?
I stayed away from it mainly just because I've seen Oregon too many times this year start a little slow. So I thought maybe that it could actually end up being right on around that line instead of what you're thinking of, so 3+ touchdown game. So I don't remember what I took, but that's why I didn't lock it. I still think I took Oregon minus the points, but I didn't lock it.
Brad, your thoughts?
This is at Wisco, right?
Yes.
I took Oregon because I think they're that good. I don't think it's going to be 4 touchdowns, though. I don't think Wisconsin's going to be a pushover at home. Weather could be a factor. I actually locked the under in this game for both of those reasons as well.
I took the under as well. I also think Oregon's defense is really good, though, so we'll see, I guess. We'll see. All right, finishing it out, Brad, what do you got for locks this week?
I am locking Michigan State +3 on the road in Illinois. Mainly because of how Michigan State played after their first bye when they had Iowa at home and blew them out, basically. I think Illinois is a little beaten up. Not that Michigan State isn't. I'm also just voting with my heart right now. So I want Michigan State to win, and that's what I'm going to go with. I figured no one else would have it as well, so I locked it.
I like it. No better time of the year than November to just go with your heart, I think.
Yeah.
Go with your favorite team. Why not? Why not? Wilson, did you like that pick? You have Illinois. Obviously, you don't love it, but do you think there's a chance that Michigan State could go in and pull off the upset, the small upset?
There's a chance just because of that Iowa game that Brad mentioned that it's possible. But I got to see it again to believe it type of thing with Michigan State. It's also a weird kickoff time, and that bothers me. So,
what time's it at?
2:30 Eastern. So it's a 1:30 Central Time kick.
That is weird.
It is.
That's odd.
I'm just glad it's not another night game.
I feel like I've heard more about times of games this week than ever in my life. Like people bitching about the Ohio State thing, like always playing at noon. They want night games. You don't want night games.
I just want some variation in my life. I think I don't remember how many in a row we've had, but we've had like 80 or 70% of our games be night games this year so far.
It's weird.
That's insane.
Yeah.
I would prefer night games though. Like as a person who's pretty busy on Saturday afternoons a lot with my children, I always want the night game. I always want it to be after everybody else is done doing things during the day, and I can just sit down and that's the last thing that I do for the day. The later the better for me. Like I'm loving these like late night. Well, I'm not loving Washington basketball, but like watching USC basketball super late at night, it's been really fun. I enjoy that, but that's just my preference. I don't know. A lot of bitching about it though. I think that's more my point though. Like people complaining quite a bit. All right,
I
Brad,
think-
was that all your picks or was that just your first one? I can't remember.
That was just my first one.
Okay, what's your next one?
It don't really matter though. We don't have to go through them if you don't.
No, I
to.
want to. I want to know all of them in depth.
Already talked about the Oregon Wisco under. Like I said, I think Oregon's going to win that game. I just don't think Wisconsin's going to lay down and let them go crazy. 51 is a lot. So, plus, I guess the Big Ten decided to play defense all of a sudden. So it'll switch back this week, though. It'll be an offensive explosion this week for sure.
That's kind of why I took a lot of overs this week because I saw you get beat up on the overs last week, and I was like, oh, he just missed it by a week, so I'll do it this week.
That's probably true. And that's why I locked another under. The Nebraska USC at 50.5. I'm going under on that game as well.
Okay, I have to talk about this game for a second because I got some pushback on Twitter yesterday for putting that game as a snooze from a lot of people. But my boy Jeffrey the Greek said something. And I think there was like a lot of Huskers fans, obviously, like some bigger Huskers fans. Not that it matters. It doesn't matter. Everyone was saying that this is like not a snooze this week. Are you guys, what are you guys feeling about this game? Are you excited about that game?
Excited, no, but it is two big brand names, so that's probably why they're saying that.
I get that, but like at some point we have to say both of them are losing teams and have been losing often lately. Like combined, I looked it up yesterday. They're combined 1-9 in their last like 10 games or whatever it is. Combined. Or 1-8 in their last 9 games, I think it was. I can't remember the exact number, but USC's lost 3 in a row, or Nebraska's lost 3 in a row, and USC's lost 4 out of their last 5. So you guys do the math, whatever that is. A lot of losing taking place. So, like, I just can't get excited about this. And then last time, I put Nebraska as a booze, I think, in their previous game, and it was because, like, they're finally going to make a bowl game, right? So, like, all the Nebraska fans was like, you don't understand, like, this is important. Like, we're going to make a bowl game. Like, we got to do that every week and just go back and watch you lose every week, like, just to get excited about the chance you might make a bowl game. Like, no, I'm not doing that. I'm not excited. Like, because that's not a big thing to a lot of other teams. Like, it's not a big deal. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, for me personally, if this game had more implications on championships or playoffs or anything, I would probably watch it. I'm not going to watch that game this week.
No.
So.
I mean, I'm definitely going to have it on, but it's like not one that I'm going to be glued to, like making sure I'm keeping track of the score the whole time. I'm just because not like, okay, Nebraska wins, then what? Okay, they're bowl eligible. And then if USC wins, then what? They're 5-5? Wow, so exciting.
Right.
I don't know. I can't get on board with it. Anyways.
I mean, I think most of the games this week are not must-see TV. So I'm not.
They're not, but
teams.
there's still teams that we have to make sure we're keeping tabs on. Like, we have to make sure Oregon goes and wins, or else that's going to really mess up the Big Ten championship and playoff implications. Well, I mean, they'll still make the playoff, but, like, it's going to change where people are at. Like, obviously, Ohio State probably an easier win for them playing Northwestern, but, like, we have to make sure that they win. So, like, we have to watch that game. So, some of the other games, like even I put Michigan and Michigan State and Illinois as my booze of the week because, like, Illinois has been such a great story this year. They have a chance to make, like, a New Year's Six bowl still. Do they still call it that now that the playoffs are around? I'm not sure.
I have no idea.
But they have a chance to make, like, a really big bowl. So if they win, like, that momentum starts picking back up for them going to, like, a huge bowl game against a really formidable opponent. So, like, I'm excited to watch Illinois. And like I said, I have money on Michigan State. So I think the other games are just, for me, I don't know. I think they're just more exciting, I guess, is what I'm trying to get at. All right. I think that's everything this week. Did we go through all the things that I wrote down? I think that we did. Lions are playing the Jaguars. We always talk about the Lions. I'm going to start doing it at the end of the show. Wilson, your boy, Jared Goff, I don't really like him that much, but Jared Goff threw 5 picks last week. What's up with your guy?
He better not throw another one this game. Otherwise, you're going to hear it nonstop from me in the group chat again. I've been nice to him.
Yeah, you actually have been. I was so surprised last Sunday night that you weren't just like ripping him a new asshole. Like you were just like, what the heck? Kind of like we were as big Jared Goff fans. Like you were just like, what is going on right now? But you weren't totally blaming him. I was shocked.
Yeah, but I mean, if he goes out and throws multiple interceptions this week, it's back on.
Yeah,
No excuses.
for sure.
I mean, he still had a couple of touchdown throws too.
That was my favorite part of the night. Like when St. Brown caught that screen for the touchdown, and I was like, oh, there's my boy Goff. That's all because of Goff. It was like a negative 2-yard pass, and he still got the touchdown credit. I was like, all because of Goff, baby. That's right. All right, Brad, I want to ask you about this one. Are you watching the Jake Paul and Mike Tyson fight tonight?
I'm not gonna be able to catch it live, so if I don't hear about the results, I'll throw it on when I get home.
We're gonna be texting about it. Do you want us to go private?
No, I don't.
Okay. It's all fake, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll have to keep me posted, Ken, because I won't be watching. I'll be watching the Purdue-Alabama basketball.
Ooh.
Basketball Jones.
All right, I think that's it for this week. We'll be back next Friday with your Week 13 picks. Appreciate everybody watching once again. If you're still tuned in, go to the top of my Twitter profile. You'll see a link to the Discord. I'd love to have everybody join that. I did say I was going to read if anyone had comments, by the way, and I didn't do that. Let me just double-check that because I made a promise.
Liar.
And then you guys can go, I promise.
You're a liar.
I know. Did anybody? I don't think anyone said anything, though, so it doesn't matter. Yeah, no one said anything. All right, we're good. All right, we'll see you guys next week. Appreciate y'all coming on.